Hello everyone, I have chosen passage B from 2016 past paper. This is a letter in response to an article about the disappearance of bees. You can use this letter format for the letters written to the editor. In that kind of formal letters, you show your disagreement to the opinions that are published in the newspaper or magazine. Disagreement does not mean that your text is full of anger, but it should have a polite or the suggestive tone. You start your formal informal letters with greetings and end it with the closing. Now we are going to highlight some of the key features of the formal letters or the letter to the editors. The first paragraph of the formal letter usually starts with the reasons for writing that kind of letter. And here the reason is that you disagree with somebody's opinion and now you are going to persuade that person. In the next few paragraphs, you write a different opinion of yours in order to convince or persuade the writer of the article. Now look at the lexes used in the first paragraph where you are telling or mentioning the reasons of writing this type of letter. The reader of that article says, I was appalled by your article. Appalled show a strong feeling of shock or surprise. And it is that kind of shock that drains color from your face and you get pale. So I was appalled. Appalled is a word that could be used in the formal letters. Otherwise, you could have used the word that I was surprised or I was shocked. But this word is mostly used in the formal text. I was appalled by your article regarding that most fascinating of insects, the honeybee. You reveal your ignorance. Look at the level of formality here. If you were writing a letter to your friend, you could have said, you show your ignorance. But here, you do not know that person. That's why you have to be formal. So you're writing, you reveal. You reveal your ignorance by dismissing the potential demise of honeybees. Demise, look at the word demise now. It means death of honeybees. As part of natural cycle, crassly celebrating that your picnic. Crassly is a word that is used for the insensitive people. It means how insensitive you are that you are celebrating your picnic is less likely to be disturbed by nasty buzzy things. So you see in the first paragraph, you are just having that direct speech, which must be, these sentences must be said by the writer of the article, that you are quoting the same wordings within the speech marks. That's why you are just mentioning the reasons of writing your letter, that such things were used by the writer. Firstly, if it weren't for bees, your picnic probably wouldn't exist. Firstly is a discourse marker that gives coherence in your writing, and it links one point to another. Over 30% of world crops rely on bee pollination. When numbers are used in any text, it shows your expertise, means how knowledgeable you are. Your peanut butter and jam sandwich would be looking a bit thin if bees disappeared altogether, wouldn't it? First, you're using second person because you are directly talking to the writer of the article. And when you use a question tag, wouldn't it? Question tag is used for confirmation. When you are saying wouldn't it, it means you are confirming, asking the reader of your letter that is it getting your point of view or not. In the second paragraph, the writer talks about the opinion that are different from the writer of the article. Perhaps you might like to consider. So look at the way how he starts his disagreement, how he starts talking about his opinion. Perhaps you might like to consider. He didn't say that you must consider my opinion. You must consider what I'm going to say right now. He just politely or in a way to persuade the other person, he says, or in the formal way, that perhaps you might like to consider that the extinction of bees. Now look at the vocabulary used, that the main topic was disappearance of bees. And one time you're using demise, the other time you're using extinction of bees. Could lead to widespread global starvation. We need, another point in this paragraph is use of first person. That we need, our world, we could, us. It means that it's a common problem. It is not only the writer of the article's problem or the writer of the letter. It's the common problem, means everybody's problem. So that's why if we use we, the first person plural, first person plural pronoun, then it means it's a collective issue and we are going to find a solution collectively. Plus, Be Health tells us a lot about environmental health. Look at this word plus. It means a discourse marker firstly used one time and then we are saying moreover. Instead of moreover, you are saying plus. Another point you're quoting here. Bee health tells us lots about the environmental health. The decimation of honeybee colonies worldwide is serious. Now look at the third paragraph. You are right means when you start your disagreement, you start with something that you agree with. So you're right that honeybees aren't native to many parts of the world, but were introduced by settlers. With the help of this conjunction, you are writing your point of view. You contradict, and then you start with something you agree with, and then you're writing your main point here. When you say you're right, it means with the help of such phrases, you are directly talking to that person. In the letters, you forget one thing that the person is really in front of you. So consider that person sitting in front of you and you are chatting or talking to that person. Here this is a formal letter, so you are not, there is no chatty style here. Here you have to be very formal because you do not know that person. What you haven't understood is that the honeybee is one of the oldest forms of animal life still in existence from the Neolithic age. Over 500 Egyptian. Now, the same point here, use of numbers. Use of numbers show the statistics or show how knowledgeable you are or shows how much research you have done. That then after your research, you are talking about these points. So over 500 Egyptian medicines use honey. The earliest records of man interacting with bees are rock paintings in Spain, thought to be 8,000 years old. Again, use of numbers. Modern picnic man has responsibilities here. As you say, wild bees can be significant pollinators of plants and crops, but you start your paragraph with something you agree with, but then you write your own point of view using this conjunction. But their numbers have decreased too. And one important thing here, that you are using the short form as well as the full form of the word. For example, known as colony collapse disorder, CCD, because your reader might not know this term. That's why you have to write the full term as well for understanding. Next paragraph starts with misleading readers. It's ing verb. You start, look at the different type of sentences that are used here, that you are using ing verb, starting the sentence with ing verb, misleading readers, comma, you say pesticides. It means that you are writing different types of sentences in your formal letters as well. Then you are saying you're wrong to suggest. You're wrong to suggest means you're very politely or you're formally telling the other person that he was wrong. You are not being harsh here. There are a few things you must remember while writing a formal letter. Choose such vocabulary that maintains a level of formality. Use a range of connectives or the discourse markers to link one sentence with another and to give coherence in your writing. Create facts and statistics by using numbers. And use a range of different sentences. Sometimes start your sentence with ing word, sometimes start with some connective or sometimes with the discourse marker.